So we've got a question here that involves working out percentage profit. So we have a little formula for percentages, which is quite useful to remember. So percentage equals the change in value divided by the original value times 100. Because the change in the value compared to the original value will be a fraction of the original value, and 100% is the whole, so we're really doing a fraction of the whole 100%. So the formula is quite a straightforward one to remember and use. So basically the first thing we've got to do is work out the profit, because that is the change in value. So the profit is going to be 154,500, take away 150,000, so that's going to be £4,500. So the percent is equal to 4,500 divided by the original value of 150,000 times the 100, which you can do on your calculators. So 4,500 divided by 150,000 times 100 equals 3%. So the answer there will be 3%. So I made a 3% profit. The next part of the question is talking about an investment. It's invested for 2 years at 4% per year compound interest. So compound interest, we need to remember, is about you get an interest per year, which is 4%. So at the end of the first year, you'll have 4% more than what you had at the start of the year. That then becomes the new amount for the new year. So we've got an increased amount the following year, which we then compound the effect by doing another 4% of that increased amount. Now there is a formula again for doing compound effects and things like that, and it's worth learning it because it won't always be as straightforward as doing it for 2 years, because that would be a case doing 4% for 1 year, add it on, do another 4%, add it on, straightforward answer. So it's worth learning the formula. So the new value is going to be equal to the old value times 1 plus I to the power of n. Now I is the interest as a decimal, and n is the number of years. So the new value is going to be equal to the old value times 1 plus 4% is equal to 0.04 as a decimal, and that's going to be the power of 2. So that's going to be 154,500 times 1.04 squared. So we got 154,500 times 1.04 squared equals, so 167,107 pounds and 20 pence. Now you need that 0 on the end because we're after a proper money answer, so need the 0 for the 20p, so be careful about that. So we need the 0 because we're talking about 20p, so our final answer here will be £167,107 and 20 pence. As I say, we could have done 4% of that, work it out, add it on, and then we could have done 4% of that new value, work it out and add it on. We did get it up the same answer, but my recommendation is learn this formula for doing compound effects. The interest here thing, it could be a percentage increase given for a population of birds. Don't forget the I doesn't have to just be interest in a bank account. It could be about population growth. They could be saying there's a 10% population growth expected over the next 10 years, and therefore the I will be 0.1 for the 10%. And n then would be 10 years or 20 years, depends on how many years they want you to do the growth for. The old value is always the original value, and then the new value is obviously what you get by doing the compound effect. So I say it's worth learning the formula to help you do that kind of question. Okay.